Taking us through the proceedings here today. Assisting in the crowd, of course, the marketing agents, Josh Hommelhoff, Dane Costello, and together we're representing Ray White Estate Agents, auctioneers and property managers of 276 Neerim Road in Carnegie. On behalf of the team at Ray White, but more importantly, on behalf of our vendors here today, I'd just like to say a very quick thank you to you all for your attendance, to any of the interested buyers here today, all the very best with your bidding, and to any of the underbidders, commiserations in advance. And Dane and Josh will be delighted to help you find another property in just a few moments' time. Now, today's auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions that were made available for inspection before the start of today's auction. The auction rules prohibit an auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for the property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price, and as the auctioneer, I'll indicate bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits any major disruptions by bidders, and prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding, and it does provide fines for this conduct. The rules do permit vendor bids, and the words we'll use during the auction to indicate we're making a bid on behalf of the vendor will very simply be vendor bid. And of course, by law, only I as your auctioneer today have the right to place that bid on behalf of the vendor. Attached to the contract of sale is the section 32. We have had it on display for the last half an hour or so, and for any of you who have taken the time to have a quick flip through, you'll see it does confirm that Ray White, as the vendor's estate agent, is selling what is formally described as Lot 11, in this case being the apartment itself, and Lot 59 being a separate titled car park at the rear of the building, on plan of subdivision 016904, which is of course more commonly known to yourself and I as 11 at 6 to 8 Avondale Road here in Armidale. Now, in a moment's time, when we do call for your bidding, we'll be asking for a deposit equal to 10% of the purchase price. That will be payable upon signing of an unconditional contract with the balance due, preferential terms 30, 45, perhaps 60 days time from today, unless of course something else has been arranged prior to having your bids taken with either Josh, Dane or myself. Now, if you are a first time auction attendee, to place a bid, simply shout out your bid in a nice clear voice and nod of the head is fine, or seek assistance from Dane or Josh. They'll be floating around in the crowd today. The way that we'll be selling the property, I hope, will be very familiar to you all. We'll call it down 3 times. On the first, second, third, and final call, when the contract hits my hand, like so, the property will be sold. And at that point, no late bids can or will be accepted today, buyers. So it's essential that at the end of the proceedings, if you have any intention of trying to secure this property, that you do hold the highest bid. Now, if we happen to fall short of the vendor's reserve price, again, it's that highest bidder and the highest bidder only that gets invited inside to exclusively sit down and negotiate uncontested at the vendor's reserve price. If there's no bidding, then obviously everyone is open so that to come forward. We might put one buyer in one room, one buyer out in the car park, and it sort of becomes a little bit of a silent auction without the transparency of it all. So essential that you've got the highest bid here today if you intend on trying to buy the property. Let me make that very clear to you once more. And why wouldn't you be buying? When you look at properties like this, some 50 odd square metres, and I stand out here and I have the privilege of looking at homes like the one across the road from me here, it is such a delight to be standing here, knowing that there's a property on offer for one lucky buyer here today in such a beautiful location. These really are the blue chip streets of Melbourne, ladies and gentlemen, and buyers clamour to get into areas like Armidale, just moments away from High Street and Armidale Station. It really is a lifestyle location. There's a reason why the properties in suburbs like Armidale outsell the rest of Melbourne, and it's because they're picturesque. It's because of the amenities, the schools, the shops, the parklands, everything you could want, the CBD, just a short commute from where we are, whilst also maintaining easy access to things like freeways. Everything you could want and more, ladies and gentlemen, at a property like this one here today. Solid brick construction, at a guess I'm going to say probably in the 1960s at some stage, some 50 odd square metres of internal living space. Now, for those of you who are new to the apartment scene, to put that into perspective, when you're buying a brand new 2-bedroom apartment, it might be 55 square metres. Yes, they're building lots of apartments in Melbourne. No, they're not building 50 square metre 1-bedrooms anymore because it's no longer feasible for developers to be using so much valuable real estate to build just one apartment, where for a slightly more investment in the land, they can put a 2-bedroom in there and sell it for more money. So properties like this are going to continue to grow in value. It's size nowadays that underpins the capital growth of apartments in this part of Melbourne. Beautifully appointed inside with the gas cooking, another good thing that you've got to be looking for in apartments. Many in this vintage only had electric cooking. Switchboard's been updated. Beautiful to move in and live in it as you want to today, or obviously as the gentleman up the front seems to be doing. plenty of scope to improve and add value in such a coveted location as we are here today. So buyers, that's enough from me. With that, we'll put it across to you now. We'll call for a fair reasonable start, 11 at 6 to 8 Avondale Road. In your hands, buyers. Who wants to get us underway here today? Don't mind the start. At a quote in the high 3s to early 4s. Perhaps something within the range might be a nice gentle place to kick the bidding off here today. I'm happy to suggest a start. Would much rather hear it come from one of you people here today. In your hands. Might suggest something in the high 3s if I can, folks. High 3s, can we say? Vendor bid with me, 395. We're away, ladies and gentlemen, at 395, and we'll call for a rise of 10. At 395,000 the bid now, can we call a rise of 10? I promise you there won't be a vendor bid on top of that. At 395,000 the bid with me. Rise of 10 to 405 buyers, take us to the other side now. At 395,000, we'll call it down 3 times for you all. 395's a bid. First call now at 395. 405, can we say buyers? I promise there won't be another vendor bid from me. Second call at 395,000. Again, getting that first right of refusal with the highest bid today puts you in the best position to buy this property. Third and final call at 395,000.
It's on 405.
405, and welcome to the bidding man at 405,000. You've got my word, no vendor bids from here. At 405,000, we're away. Looking for a rise at 10, can we say to 415 at 405? There's your competition. At 405,000, we're fairly bidding off it now. 405's a bid. Exceptional buying for a property of this calibre in this location. Imagine walking down and reversing out your car and in your rear view mirror every morning, seeing homes of this ilk. $405,000 is the bid now at 405 000. Rise at 10 buyers. What do you say at 405's the bid now? First call now at 405. Last chance for you all buyers. Second call at 405 is the bid. Third and final call, all done, all silent, at 405's the bid now. Want to refer the bid for a moment, Josh? I'll just ask you all for a quick moment while we quickly have a chat with our vendor. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience at $405,000. There's your highest bidder at the moment. Instructions are very clear. We are dealing exclusively with the highest bidder at this stage. If there's no further bidder advance, the property will pass in. They'll be invited inside to have exclusive right of refusal. So don't think you can come in afterwards and knock on the door and say, hey, I'd like to make an offer. Now's the chance to do that. Otherwise, the lady gets first right of refusal until she says no at the vendor's reserve price. At $405,000, still exceptional value here today for a solid brick property in what is arguably one of the best pockets of Melbourne buyers. You'll never have an issue leasing the property out. Leased out in the early threes at the moment. Still got a little bit to run on the lease until January. Vacant possession is a possibility here for you if that's the intention. At $405,000, we're back across to you. No vendor bids from me. In your hands, buyers at $405,000. Last chance for you now. At $405,000, can we call it $415,000, ladies and gentlemen? At $405,000 is the bid. We'll call it down 3 times at $405,000. First call now. Perhaps you're one of those opportunistic buyers. Throw your hand in the air, run the gauntlet, see how it goes. Second call now. At $405,000 is the bid. For the third and final call, all done, all silent, at $405,000 is the bid. Well, folks, with that, please join me in congratulating the highest bidder. We'll formally pass the property in. We'll look forward to negotiating a sale shortly with the highest bidder. Thank you very much for your attendance. Have a great day.